Yep. Being heard, and I'll get started this way. First of all, this is a day we should all remember about our servicemen that lost their lives at Pearl Harbor today.
Absolutely.
So I say a prayer for them all and for servicemen now that we still have. Help them to what they're doing in our country. The next thing is, I want to say thank you to Rhonda. I want to thank for her because, and her staff over here, because last week, with all the dilemma on the figures and the amounts of money we saw here that was totally just unbelievable, of not being done or being done or whatever, and CARES Act money, and she was efficient in getting those documents out to us before we left, of what the amounts of money and so forth. So again, I thank you, Rhonda, for being that efficient. I have never in my life, since all the county commission meetings I've been at in my lifetime, you could never get that type of quality quickness at any other place, nowhere, not even Franklin County or Shawnee. So that's why it's important for that to happen, because sometimes you need to take that information home with you so you can analyze for what was really, just put forth. Now, the other thing is that I can't believe, that when people come here, and this is where you talk business for a county, and when I see that certain commissioner or commissioners start trying to deny people the right to talk, it gets me wound up. And especially when you want to call a meeting to adjourn to get out of here so fast. How many times a certain commissioner wanted to get out of here and disrupt an individual that was wanting to talk, that finally got to talk, thank God, because that should be what should be done here. Whether you like it or whether you don't, that's the point of all this for the people here in this county. And the final thing is this. On the news media last week, I came across at WIBW, and then it came across on Facebook about this meeting with Hams over here at the senior center over here in Osage City coming on the 15th. Boy, there was a lot of concern there about, nobody mentioned anything in here about the strip mines in Carbondale. And when they all talked about that and they brought the people on and live people and everything that was discussed, they're concerned about their water supply there. I would think so. So, I took it upon myself to go up there yesterday. I tell you, I still don't understand. The roads in this county are bad. And I'm going to have to say it. And I think the townships should be getting more money to be able to take care of their roads. Because it seems like the commissioners don't care about the townships. And I just can't get across that. Because, see, I came from a county originally in Anderson County, where I live with my folks. They did it differently there. And their townships, they care. Those commissioners care. But here, it don't seem like you care. And like I said, we got so much money in the CARES Act money left. There's what, 95, 94,000, whatever the figure is. I guess we're going to find out on the 10th of this week just how you're going to finishing out all this money that needs to be spent in this county. Because I sure hope that you don't send anything back to the federal government. Thank you.
Anyone else for public comment? Heather?
I do have a couple of questions with some of the information from Garrett last week, so I don't know if that's a time now or if there's a time.
You say he's coming?
He will be here at 9:30.
9:30 he'll be here, so why don't you hold him till then? Any others for public comment?
Jackie, I put her on.
Right. You put it, when did you put her?
I put her between public comment and Bryce.
Okay. Jackie. How are you today?
Good, how are you guys?
Good.
So last week I talked to you about a vehicle, I talked to Brandines, and they sent us this bid. This is for a 2021 Chevy Traverse LT, all-wheel drive. And they're able to get it through GM's government program, and so the price, including whatever paperwork fee, is $34,647 for that vehicle. And the amount that we put in for a vehicle in the CARES Act was $37,000, so I was pretty happy that
I'll need a bid,
Yeah.
don't we, Fred?
a decent bid.
Did you get any other bids?
No. That was the only one in the county that had the
New
ones.
vehicles, yes.
Mhm.
Well, I move we approve purchase order 3537 to Bernine Motors for $34,647. Money coming out of the CARES.
Tell me more about this program you said that you were there.
The GM has a government program, it's their government fleet program, is from what I understand. I didn't really ask him a lot of questions about it, I just know he called GM specifically to find a vehicle that fit what we wanted within our price range. What I did, I called him and I said, this is what we need something this size, and we cannot spend more than $37,000, and that's with it on our property. So no other fees, no more than that. And I said, it's gotta have all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, so that we're able to get where we need to go when we need to get there. And it needs to be, mid-size SUV, blah, blah, blah. And that's what he came up with.
But that program is not unique to Brainine, it's all
No.
GM dealers?
No, it's not unique. It's a GM program, not just through Van Nuys.
Fred, does that show the trade, no trade-in, right?
There's no trade,
No,
right?
okay.
Yes.
MSRP was like 41
So-
something.
We'll probably have some other things to go on Purple Wave or Big Iron too, so.
I don't know, I wonder if we shouldn't get a bid from Bozart, they're not far away, and give preference to one in Osage County.
Okay, we try it.
You buying this out of CARES money?
Yes,
Does that have to be next week, okay on that?
Yeah, we still have time.
yeah, we have till the end of the month.
I think we'd ought to get another one on a new vehicle.
Okay,
It's hard to get them on used stuff sometimes because getting what you want, but they all can get bids on something that's new.
That's fine,
Okay?
I'll call him. I have one other
Okay.
purchase order to request. This
You
is
hold that.
for
I'll give it back to Jackie.
a data logger, which is the unit that we use to monitor temperatures for our freezer and refrigerator
Right.
units. So this is a new data logger for our freezer system that we will use for, hopefully, our vaccine, and it allows us to monitor temperatures from our smartphone.
That's
So we don't have to be-
$300.
right,
We need.
Right, but it's CARES Act funding.
Right,
And
okay.
it wasn't originally written
All right.
in as CARES Act funding, because I didn't know we were gonna need it.
right. You just need one?
Yeah, we already have another one.
Oh,
for the
okay.
refrigerator. This is for the freezer.
Okay, And I move we approve purchase order 3538 to McGalley for $287.99 out of the CARES Act.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And I wanted to let you know I did get the phone purchased. I have an invoice that I'll give to Melinda. I'll do as a purchase order for that. And it should come out of CARES Act funding for the actual, phone. Anything?
Okay.
Any questions?
I don't have any. Do you have anything to share with us? Any new information?
No, I mean, over the weekend, I haven't got my, we haven't got numbers out yet. I know we had quite a few just because we get them via email. I wanna say there was probably around 25 from Friday to Sunday, which isn't terrible. I mean, I hate to say that because it is terrible.
Well,
but
right.
it's not compared to what it could have been. This week and next weekend, we'll kind of see how it's gonna be after the Thanksgiving holiday. So this is kind of our week,
This should be the week it possibly would spike.
if we're gonna have a spike, yeah.
Right,
That is
okay.
directly tied to Thanksgiving. So, we'll see,
Okay.
let's hope not.
Yeah, me too.
We're busy enough, thank you very much.
I had one, this is just kind of related.
Sure.
Were the 3 KCs shut down due to coronavirus?
I don't know anything specifically about that. From what I understand, they did that on their own because somebody had been in there that had coronavirus, and they did it as a company protocol to clean. So it wasn't something that we did. I think they had somebody, I don't think it was a normal employee. From what I understood, it was somebody who was doing stocking or something. And so they just company-wide policy, if they got a positive, they shut down and do a deep clean, and then they open back up. So.
Well, it looks like there should be plenty of vaccine, because about half the people now say they aren't gonna take it, so.
Right, yeah.
I can't believe that,
It's
the
gonna be-
information's,
Gonna be really, really interesting.
Yes.
We'll just leave it at that.
oh,
I-
wild stories,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
It is, it'll be interesting. We just kinda have to watch and see how it
Right.
progresses. I really don't think the first wave, maybe even the first 2, will even really affect us directly.
Right,
Simply because we're not gonna be a site.
right, understand that,
So,
so,
anyway, but we'll do what we can, so.
okay,
All right?
okay, thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thanks, guys.
Mr. Romine,
Good morning,
how are you?
all the commissioners, guests, citizens. How's everybody?
We're doing okay so far.
Just for information, I will be depositing $18,366 into the general fund this morning. And that does cover part of my salary.
Wow.
And increases in pay. That's out of the merchant management preparedness grant.
Okay,
Which grant?
Merchant management preparedness grant. Or commonly known as EMPG, that's how we normally describe
Right.
it. So,
is that an annual grant then?
yes, you just apply for it normally, as long as you meet the standards,
Right, okay,
we normally get it. There's more money in there actually than that, but that was our yearly, it's about what we get a year.
Okay.
Kind of varies with
right,
how much the state gets. I have 3 purchase orders. First one is to McKesson Medical through Osage County District 5 for N95s and procedure surgical masks. My allotment for this month is back active again, so I can order these.
okay,
changes in the reporting system and everything. I talked to part of the fire districts and health department and OSAGMS, and gloves, N95, procedure masks are probably gonna be the most needed items
Right.
in the next few months. So,
And you'll distribute those to,
upon request, if the fire district needs some,
Right.
we distribute them. I mean, the money they will all be distributed sometime. Right now, it's on an as-needed basis.
Okay, I move we approve purchase order 3518 to McKesson Medical for N95 masks, procedure masks in the amount of $2,326.62. Out of the CARES Act.
second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
With that purchase order and the next one I'm gonna give you, will expend my share of the CARES money for emergency management.
Oh, okay.
Within a few dollars. I have two more purchase orders here. One is for 3 cases of gloves for the Osage County Sheriff's Office out of CARES. And one is for 15 cases of gloves for emergency management out of the CARES Act 720. We just separated the POs, things are, one's coming out of sheriff, one's coming out of mine,
Right,
and,
okay.
both going to, the same company that we made the last purchase from. We're allocated so much normally a month, and that's our next allocation figure.
Okay. I move we approve purchase order 3566 to Chemicals by 3 for gloves and medical supplies in the amount of $3,600 out of the CARES Act.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. And I move we approve purchase order 3567 to Chemicals by 3 and more gloves in the amount of $720 out of the CARES Act.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Unfortunately, gloves are still hard to come by. A lot of them are made overseas,
Well, yeah, right.
and the plant that's the biggest producer in the world has about 50% outage of people. COVID-19. So,
And unfortunately, they all have a shelf life, because after a while, they,
yeah,
kind of like the N95, but the mask on an N95 forever, but they use a rubber band that ages and
yeah,
then,
we have to watch the original ones we purchased.
right, keep rotating them.
We got from KDM that came out of the national stockpile, because some of the elastic is not quite as stretchy as it should be.
Mhm.
Did work a hazmat spill on I-35 Friday morning, just east of field, all cleaned up, taken
Oh,
care of.
okay.
And we had a large pile of tires on fire Saturday afternoon, down in Fire District 3 at Melbourne. And right next to the railroad right away, so that got taken care of. They got the majority of the tires extinguished, and they're still watching that. That's all been reported through the appropriate channels.
Right, okay.
Of the reporting. I think unless somebody has some questions, I'll be back at 10 for the ambulance committee.
Okay.
Ambulance report. And we do have an ambulance advisory committee. I don't know where it you are aware of that or not?
Yes,
Okay,
right, yeah, Ken's on that,
yes,
right, so,
I didn't see a notification, but
so,
Dawn had mentioned to me earlier, so. Okay, no questions?
okay, thank you.
You look like you were gonna say something. Oh,
Deep thought.
I guess.
Would it be okay to start with some of my stuff first?
What, yes,
I have a payroll change form from the appraiser's office and a resignation from Sherry.
is that grand staff?
Well, the correct name is on the, she actually is Brisky.
Oh,
I'm probably not
okay.
pronouncing that correctly.
Okay. I move we approve the resignation of Sherry Brisky from the appraiser's office. That was effective Friday, wasn't it?
Yes.
What day was that, 4th? Effective 12/4.
second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have one change order.
No, that's unusual. I move we approve tax roll change on personal property. One item.
Okay,
All in
second
favor?
that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. See, what do we change here? Mobile home.
I have two applications for accounts at the transfer station. One is for Quality Built Construction of Osage City.
Okay.
And one is for National Print Center of Topeka, but Greg McCurdy is a Milburn person. Okay.
Okay. Did Glenn have any comments on either of these?
Not that I'm aware of, but I don't know for sure if they just brought him in or if Glenn actually saw him or not.
Well, I'll hold them until
Okay,
next week.
okay. Then this purchase order just came in on Jackie's phone.
Oh, okay. I move we approve purchase order 3569 to AT&T for a Samsung cell phone for the Jackie Patterson out of the CARES Act in an amount of $399.99.
We talked about that last week.
Yes.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I have the minutes that you've already looked at, and then I left you the ones from when I was gone. These are for October 19th, 26th, and November 7th. And then I left you the more current ones till last week.
These are the ones we've already approved.
Right, well, you've already
Okay.
looked at.
Okay,
These aren't in any of these?
No, those are,
Okay,
okay.
I found some corrections on these.
I move we approve the minutes as printed from October the 19th to November the 9th.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Stephanie's here, but I'm gonna go ask who brought those in and see where we are on the checks. And Fred, you guys will wanna approve the CARES Act checks that you.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so then when he gets them back from Lexi, she can release them.
Okay. I move that we approve the CARES Act checks as presented
That's this printout.
in
we
the
have
amount of
here.
$168,810.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Fred, Stephanie is here.
Okay. Stephanie, come on up.
I like the social distancing thing. Love that.
Okay.
Okay, I need your guidance. As I've said before, KDOT is paying 100% operating. And, one of the things, we have to advertise in the local newspaper, which we do. We have a monthly ad, and we pay that as it goes. But it runs about, I believe she said like $232, so it's under my $300 limit. So I set that up, and then we also have to have a telephone book ad. Because this was a telephone book until, what's his name got a hold of it? This is the local telephone, or the telephone book that just came out in the mail a couple months ago. And we are not in it. the senior center's number is incorrect too, so I don't know where they got their information, but I called to have a Yellow Pages ad. And, our Yellow Page ad will not come out until June of 21, which is perfect, cause we are in 21's budget right now. It is built in my budget to pay for an ad. I can either do but as soon as I sign the contract, I can either do monthly, but of course it's cheaper if we do an annual ad. But as soon as I sign the contract, we will go on and be in the Yellow Pages. So when you type in on the internet and it gives you the Yellow Page information, our information will come up immediately. So what I would like to do is, there's two components to it. One is a $50 monthly fee, or it would be $600 for the year, a little bit less. That is for internet, so we can be viewable in 3 different ways on the Yellow Pages. One, if someone typed in that they needed a wheelchair transportation, it would come up, and also Osage County General Public Transportation. That's $50 a month. Then for $81 a month, or $972, of course, there's less if you pay, I'll be in the Yellow Pages in 3 different areas in the Yellow Pages in the Northeast Kansas book, which reaches all of our areas in Peoria.
Okay,
So Commissioner Anderson and I were talking about, yes, I am over my budget due to the overtime and the extended hours that we've been operating on, but it is well within my KDOT budget to pay for this. So I'm asking permission, how would you like me to proceed? And may I say I prefer the annual, because then it's done and over with, I don't have to worry about
Right.
another monthly bill.
What's required?
Required is a Yellow Page ad, advertisement in the phone book, and advertisement in the local newspaper.
Okay. And that costs how much to meet the minimum?
To meet the minimum,
Yeah. You said you had,
$972, and then with a online internet presence, it'd be $972 for in the phone book, and then an online internet presence for $600. But you don't get, if you just do the phone book, you don't get the online presence without
Right.
$50 a month. And I really think we need that.
I can't believe anybody looks at a Yellow Page anymore.
that's required, and that's.
Even though it's
It is
required, yeah,
I have.
okay, well, I know, but you're always a little different.
Thank you.
In a good
I know
way.
you get lots of different choices
But-
and
but-
you're searching for multiple things, so
Yeah,
yeah. And our seniors still do, and you have to admit
yeah,
that 72% of our writers are seniors,
I understand that too, so, but, yeah,
so.
but so many people have cell phones and stuff, so you don't use it for a personal directory, so then the odds of, you know,
Well, see, and I thought the Facebook would count when we did.
Yes,
we just
right.
did this audit. The Facebook and all of that does not count towards the requirement that KDOT.
right,
So that's why I pulled the book out of.
I understand that, so.
Well, I think your comment that nobody looks at the phone books, it's probably important to have an internet presence.
Well, right, that's what,
And
we gotta do
then have
both
the
of
other
them,
one Because it's required
yes,
by the terms
Yes.
of the grant you
Yes.
get, is that right?
Yes,
so. Get us a PO to do both of them,
I didn't bring it, I wanted to get your advice first. and
Okay.
then
yeah,
I'll put it in there.
you can get a blank one and fill it out there, so.
Okay, and then.
Mr. Bailey, Oh. okay,
No, go ahead,
I have a question on the grant.
yes.
I was looking at it the other day and it shows an administrative fee in that. What is that administrative fee and where does it go? As part of that grant, it's like, I've I've always seen where a grant writer gets paid for a grant, I'm wondering if does that, the administrative part of that, does that go somewhere? What is that in the grant?
There is not an administrative fee in this grant. They separate it by administrative and operating, so they only pay, as of now, prior to when they initially cracked, the COVID thing hit, they were paying 100% of the administration. So in the administration is the transportation manager's salary, our postage. I'll have to look for sure. I just fill in where I go. It's about 4 different things. And so that is I know our office supplies, our postage, transportation manager, office supplies, postage, and one or two other things, but they're very minimal. The copy machine. But there's not an administrative fee in writing the grant. There never has been in this one. There is in the housing grant, and that's what the corporation and Windy Ridge Development splits. It used to be, excuse me,
What's it called again?
Windy Ridge Development, and then the corporation, they get that administrative fee
The corporation gets it, or
for the housing grant.
the corporation talking about our corporation, economic
Economic
development?
Development Corporation.
Because on that deal, where I remember that, there's some things in there that check it somewhere else to somebody else.
Windy Ridge Development.
Is that what it is? I thought there was another name, but I can't remember what it was for sure.
In the beginning, and you would have possibly seen this when we gave you the statements, it was Bill Caton, he is Windy Ridge Development. Yeah. Anything else? Okay. Rhonda called me last week, and Teresa's FMLA is up. And Rhonda and I talked back and forth. Here's my dilemma. Every day, it looks like we are packed full in riders. But then, whether it be, a lot of times lately, it might be someone doesn't feel very good and doesn't wanna go, or cold, or rain, or we're seeing a lot of last minute phone calls for telemed to our riders. KDOT is paying for an 8-hour day. So if our drivers are down, they're still gonna cover that. Usually the drivers will scour the vehicles with bleach and water. We have them do something. Sunday, there were 6 phone calls. So one of our drivers isn't even starting until 11 today, just because of cancellations, or hospitalizations. This weekend it was hospitalizations. And so with Teresa, we didn't hear anything. It's been over 6 months, or right at 6 months. And I just don't have an opening. Even if someone calls and says, hey, I wanna run to the grocery store, or I wanna run here. We have an open line of communication. I don't have anything that looks like right now, but I'll call you as soon as something opens up, and that works well. We do not have the denied rides that we used to at all, just because of cancellations. And
Right.
on Friday, I had 2 drivers that didn't even have anything to do.
Okay.
So I really don't have a position for her. And I spoke to Pat, and they think, I don't know what you wanna call that, I don't know what to do. Never been in this situation.
Are you sure you should be talking about this?
Well, that's what I was just questioning
You
here.
might wanna-
Yeah.
That, I was thinking where you were,
Get us out of here, cause there should be no names being dropped.
Right.
Well, I mean, we have to make a decision, I don't know. what
well,
to
I
do.
know, but,
Should do it open.
right, yeah. So do you need an executive session? Yeah.
No, I just need so, I don't have a position open.
Well,
So just
you
let
fill
her-
that out and we'll deal with that, but if you
Right.
wanna talk about it, we
Okay,
can do that in executive session.
Gotcha.
okay.
Okay.
I think we need to have a little executive session before we do this, so.
Gotcha.
But let's keep on schedule if you wait a couple, well, okay, 5-minute executive session for discussion of non-elected personnel.
Got a motion?
Yes, I move that.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
And I'm saying it's 9:13,
Okay,
okay? Let me pull this down correctly.
no action in the executive session.
Rhonda? I'm gonna go get a PO order, but get the actual annual dollar amount for it, so I'll make an appointment to be on the agenda next Monday.
Okay.
To get those through. Alright, thank you.
All right.
Mr. Wells,
Hello, how are you?
come on up. We're doing fine, how are you?
The canine, remaining balance on the canine through the diversionary fund through
Oh,
the county attorney. They're ready for us to pick that up.
So we got this guy?
Yep, we got the dog.
Yeah.
Yep. It's, over by Kelowna, waiting on us.
Oh, okay. Well, I move we approve purchase order 3564 to Ironheart for the remaining balance on the dog out of the diversion fund in amount of $6,500, $6,550.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Have you had any interaction with the dog yet?
I got to watch it work. It's,
Oh, okay.
It's amazing.
Oh, wait a minute, Rhonda needs to
You need to
do
sign it
something
too.
to that.
Yeah,
You need to sign it.
Yeah, they train them pretty well.
It's, yeah, it's
You
amazing.
need to
The
sign
drive
it.
on it's really good too, so should be a really good dog.
Good.
And it's guaranteed, so.
Oh, yeah?
What breed of dog is it?
It's a Malinois. Here's one for, out of Lake Patrol. We need a HP vehicle.
Oh, okay, this highway patrol, isn't it? I move we approve purchase order 3568 to the Kansas Highway Patrol for a 2018 Dodge Charger for the Lake Patrol, amount of $21,100.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye, motion carries.
I handed you the wrong one.
Nah, I thought
Yeah,
that.
so,
Maybe you knew what you were doing.
No,
'cause I
no.
didn't.
okay, I'll let you sign that one.
This is the upfitting for that Durango that's coming in. It's supposed to be here this week.
Okay.
I hope it is. We need it.
What's all this include now?
That puts all the lights and everything, gets
Oh.
it ready to be patrol ready.
Okay. I move we approve purchase order 3563 to Cage Manufacturing for upfitting the Dodge Durango to make it a Lake Patrol vehicle. Amount of $6,453.96.
Where do you have to take that?
Is it Deacon or Meriden?
Meredith?
Meriden.
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Cage
carries.
Manufacturing. So we've had a tower go down. The tower's not fixable. The repeater, I'm sorry, not the tower.
Right,
The
yeah.
repeater's not fixable. This is for a used repeater until we figure out what we're going to do with 800s and all that.
Oh, right.
911 fund, we don't really have a choice. They have right now we're using a loaner, and they're gonna want it back, so.
Oh, right. Yes. I move we approve purchase order 3565 to Topeka FM Communications for a radio repeater, an amount of $1,175 out of the 911 fund.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Is that lightning damage or anything, or just old
Just
age, or?
Old, the 400 system it's at end of life.
Right.
We're gonna have to do something eventually. This is just a Band-Aid.
Right,
We're gonna have to come up with a solution somehow. These are for watch guard systems. These are our camera systems. We
Oh.
had 3 go out, and then the jail has some have one out, so we need to replace these are for both the body cameras and the car cameras.
right.
So there's 2 on that.
I move we approve purchase order 3561 to Watch Guard for 3 sheriff's cars camera systems out of the Federal Land Entitlement Fund in amount of $17,610.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And I move we approve purchase order 3562 to Watch Guard for 5 body cameras for the jail in the amount of $7,190.
What fund?
The jail,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I have 3 bids for an electrical outlet down here by the door, to be able to set up the magnet cover.
Oh, okay,
I don't know if you want to look at it and approve one of them, and then I'll get a purchase order wrote up for it. They're 3 local companies.
yeah, I see that. I didn't realize this one was still going, so. Yeah, I guess if he's
Which one?
Mullins,
Yep. Yeah, I think they're at Osage too.
well, I know, we've had them before and then they kinda quit.
Oh, okay.
And so I didn't know they was, so. Well, I see no reason not to go low bid, so I move we approve the, well, you gotta do a purchase
Yeah, I'll
order,
do
I
it
guess.
first. I just wanna make sure you're aware.
For
we did-
Mullins,
Okay. I'll write
amount
it
of
up.
$340.
Also, just so you're aware, we're gonna have to replace all the batteries at all of the sites, radio sites, that'll come out of 911.
Yeah,
I just want you to be aware that's coming too, because we have to get that done as well. But like I said, we're gonna have to discuss sometime
right.
the towers, of what we're gonna do going forward. Because dispatch, everything is at end of life, so we got to figure out something.
So do you have a dollar amount of what it would take to switch?
Uh,
A ballpark, understand?
I'll get that for you.
Okay,
The batteries, we're looking at $88 a piece is what we're looking at.
how many batteries though?
There'll be 9 of them.
Oh, well, that's not a big deal, so, yes,
I'll get that to you, that'll be on 911 too. So.
yeah.
I also request executive session for non-elected personnel for 10 minutes.
Okay,
How long?
10.
minutes.
I move we go to executive session for 10 minutes for non-elected personnel, including the sheriff and the undersheriff and the lawyer. And
9:30?
at 9:30, so. You gonna second that, Ed?
I second that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Yeah,
I also wanted you to be aware that we saved $9,600 the other day by doing that KDOT grant.
okay,
We got radars for free,
good.
so that was a good bonus.
Okay,
Back on record?
yes,
All right. Today I'm bringing to you, I got five hires that we're going for. 2 will be from the vacant positions at the jail facility. All interviews for all positions today were ran through a hiring board with a very good background check that was completed on everyone, and all have passed psychological tests. So I'm presenting the first one here, Caden Feliciano for the jail facility.
okay, I move we approve hiring Caden Feliciano in the jail at $15.88 an hour.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Next one is for Nathan Dewick, also to the jail.
I move we approve hiring Nathan DeWitt in the jail, $15.88 an hour.
They gotta sign
Just, yeah, you'll sign them both, Fred, on all of them, then I'll give you your copy.
That's not clicked. What does that say?
I need a second on this one.
Yes, I second that, Fred.
All in favor?
Sorry.
Aye,
Aye.
motion carries.
All right, for these next 3, they're going to be assigned to the sheriff's office as deputy positions. 2 will fill the courthouse positions that will be created that are be here housed here at the sheriff's or at the courthouse. First one,
You need to tear
He needs to sign it.
you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Great. Will be Ethan Wills.
that. Okay, now these are gonna be not new positions, but
Okay, yeah, on this one here, there'll be 2 for the courthouse and 1 that was a unfilled position under the previous administration.
Okay,
all right.
I move we approve hiring Ethan Wells for the sheriff's department, $18.97 an hour.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, these next two are already certified officers. We are, which will be lateral transfers. So, Markel Williams.
I move we approve hiring Markel Williams in sheriff's office for $19.47 an hour.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Like I said, this last one is also certified officer Corey Hamilton.
Do any of these people need to go to special training?
One will have to go to KOTC for 14 weeks for
Right.
the basic training. The two in the jail, we will be sending to the jail academy, which is a week long.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know when those will actually see their academy date for the jail, because with COVID going on, they're very limited on the training.
Okay, that's why I wondered, do you have slots available to?
We're
get them
waiting,
trained?
for the National Jail Institute to post on the next class.
Where do they go for the jail training?
They moved everything from Salina to down at the same law enforcement training center.
Oh, okay.
Where's that at?
Down in Hutchinson. Well, it's actually Yoder, but yes, right outside Hutchinson.
Okay, I move we approve hiring Corey Hamilton as sheriff's department for $19.47 an hour.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, thank you.
Glenn not coming today.
No, he's got electrical issues at his house too somehow, so. Must have been a substation got hit by lightning sometime. And sometimes it shows up a lot later when you, so. Okay, Mr. Nordstrom, how are you today?
Well, thank you, how are you?
We're doing okay.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm just coming to give you an update. Not much has changed last week. There were 3 additional businesses that had a couple of inconsistencies in their applications, so we took care of those, and the committee made allocations to them via the internet through, they just discussed that. They just this is where our total budget is. Right now. Wrong side over here. Kind of where we are right now. On paper, we have $38,161.18 remaining after the second round of the economic development checks go out. Economic Development will, in the end, as of right now, receive $1,125,874. There's still some checks to go out, those being the ones in gray. And I believe we have a pretty accurate accounting of where the health department's going to come out. Significantly under their budget. We don't believe all of it's going to be able to spend their money. And I have I believe there's a potential Quinimo's coming back too. Quinimo, the 10.5 that we allocated to the municipality fund, it very well may come back to us.
Okay,
I'm gonna start to getting that to their attorney, and they're having a very successful time finding appropriate ways to spend it as of today. But we'll be talking with their attorney this afternoon to see if they're gonna make it. So far, the schools have spin out. I have been in close contact this last week with all the cities. There may be some from Scranton. Osage City looks good. Overbrook has a little bit left that I believe that they're gonna be able to expend. All the fire departments are solid with their allocations. They have enough, like we
Right.
talked, they can spend a lot more than what we give them. So, questions do you have?
it's okay.
What were the three that, last time we had concerns about, that didn't have, needed more information? I couldn't tell from this.
Oh, I apologize. I sent my print, I sent my prints.
I can just mark them here if you.
Yeah, I sent my print area and I didn't look when I was leaving this morning, so I don't have the names of the businesses here.
Okay,
I can get those here and print them up.
but they're included on this
They are
report.
included, yes.
And also
Okay.
included on this report were the ones that we had
Right.
before.
Yep.
Okay,
One was Jim Rooks, that is Eagle Eye Enterprises,
Okay,
and from Scranton. Another one was Kim Halgren. That was the other one.
okay, there,
That was a hair studio. The other was, okay, I got all three. The other was the third to the last, Steve Bunger Drywall out of Osage City.
okay,
I apologize, I just left that off with the names of their business. But those were
and the other names were on that other
the
list.
other names were on those lists, they just
Okay,
were.
got it. So, if these are all approved like this, how much did you say we had left?
Well, we will have 38,161.18. If all of it comes back, that's around 45,661.18.
All of this is already spoken for, right? It's already approved.
Everything's approved, yes.
Right. So the money right now is the 31 plus what we're talking about now?
Yeah.
Garrett, we did pay out the Osage County Historical Society, Arvonia Historical Society, the Overbrook Fair Association, and the Milburn Fair Association. This,
Okay.
today.
Okay, so
right,
I've listed them in the actuals, so, in the columns there as spoken for, even though I have them in gray.
right,
The only thing that really isn't spoken for is the 3,500, it shows in that right column what I believe is gonna be coming back.
So we have the health department taken care of?
I believe we do. We're still talking about the pad, the generator.
right.
And I would say by this time next week, we should know if we're gonna make those expenditures.
I don't know, have you got a bid from Fields yet?
No. Unless it was in my email this morning and I haven't.
Well, I was adamant that I needed it today, so.
Okay, I'll check again before you guys
So,
leave and see if it's
I've
in there
knocked on his
today.
door several times, and I don't know why he's not.
We're not the only ones going through this.
Yeah.
And so we have until the 30th to write that check.
Right,
So-
I understand that,
So
but we wanna get,
we wanna, I think what everybody's, I wouldn't say everybody, but some things that come up is if we do have any leftover money, what we're gonna do with it. And if, one option is to give it back to the state, another option would be to find something else to spend
Yes.
it on. Another thing would be to maybe reallocate that to the other businesses, just somehow
yeah,
distribute it to them equitably in some fashion, or if there would be anything that would come up in the next couple of weeks that maybe, obviously, things are,
right,
the pandemic is getting worse, with the health department or something
Right.
that we'd want to discuss.
We've given to the fairs money because they were unable to have fundraisers. The one that I'm interested in is the Vassar Fun Fest they have every year. They had their event this year, and normally one of their big money raisers is a silent auction they have, and they were unable to have it this year because of COVID. I would like to donate $3,000 for that.
Okay.
If that approves, if everybody approves of that. And also had a request from East Central Kansas Area Agency on Aging that if anyone had any money left over, they're in need of vans. And there have been a couple of counties that have done that. And I don't know what the feeling of that would be, but they took over the Meals on Wheels when it was in dire straits, and they had several vans and they were just junk. And they've just been limping along, so if there was, rather than send any money back, I would like to consider that.
Well, that would be up to you all. I can, it's, where is the area agency on aging? It's the one.
Ottawa.
Ottawa.
Okay.
Was the senior center still wanting to try to get a van too?
What's that?
At one time, the senior center was wanting to get a van where they off the table.
Yeah, I don't know where that is.
I would sure think that if we want to.
Well, we-
The county would want to talk to.
we're talking that too, so. They're going to be taking over some harvester deliveries,
Right.
so,
Here's a question, and I don't know the answer to this, so this is for all of you, I guess. Regardless how much money it is that's left over, can the county take that and just go buy gravel from wherever they want and then use it as needed on township roads, county roads, whatever? That assures that no money ever goes back.
Well-
We can use the gravel, I mean,
Yeah,
there's no doubt we can use it.
we're not gonna send any money back.
But my question still relies in, can you use it to purchase gravel to fix some of the roads that need fixed? Because they're not all township roads.
Well,
they're all
right.
County roads, but everybody rides them, whether they're county or
Right.
township, so.
I don't know the
There's
answer to
several
that,
roads
do
in
you?
some desperate need.
So,
I would be more inclined to boost the fire departments more, because they have their own mill levies too, so whatever we do reduces their mill levy that they're gonna need, and they're always needing it, you know. I still don't know how,
I'm just saying.
I still don't understand how gravel can relate to COVID at all. And,
Infrastructure.
huh?
I mean, part of it they said was.
Well, I understand, well, I guess that, but, you know, so,
Would you like, go ahead and address that? So I've been getting a lot of questions from a lot of different fire departments, can we buy this, police departments, if this is
Right.
eligible? And what we typically do is a Google search of all, police departments buying cameras with CARES Act money, and see if there's any other, what's going on around the country, and see if people are justifying it that way. The Kansas Recovery Office has made it clear that any expense for this money is at the discretion of the county commission, and that the county commission deems it a response to the pandemic, then they will honor that.
so I would believe that it would be a question for Pat and the commission to look in the resolution and justify a gravel expense. And so, my first thought would be, no, that doesn't have anything to do with it, but sometimes I look into the computer and, search the Google, and it comes up, well, they're doing it. And so it would be between council and the commissioners, and the resolution, I believe, would be the answer to that.
I think it would cover, when you're talking about fire department, when you talk about emergency services, ambulance or whatever, if they can't get there, that's no good to happen. So if you don't have a road that they can get there to them on, what goes to fire department, what goes to the other.
Well,
So
right.
I think the roads are very important, and we've given money to fire departments, we've given money to everybody else. I'm not saying you're gonna fix every road in the county, but you darn sure ought to start trying to fix a few of them that are in real bad shape.
If we had money left, and we could do that, that'd be
Well, no,
probably a
Gary,
good place to throw
you
it.
said, you told me the other day that the CARES Act money won't allow you to do that for the townships. And now you're telling me you can, and I think you should look at that for the gravel for the townships in this county. They need
You have this
So-
updated for 20.
I've got
that's what I asked
corrections to
you.
make.
What I'm
Uh,
saying
to
on the
finish it
record
and
at this
get
commission
proofing done
meeting
of it.
is that any expense made
Would these
between,
numbers be
from the
pretty
CARES
accurate,
Act
I
is
think?
between,
They were like- they're last
is
year's
what the
I
commission
know.
says.
Okay.
That's
And
what was
it would
last
have
year.
to
I
fall
did this
within
year's
the
for you, but
confines of
not
the
today.
resolution that
Okay.
they passed, and that would be between the council and the commission. I don't advocate, I don't say yes or no, I never have in any part of that made any decision as far as what gets to be spent.
Well, I think it should be, just like Jay said too, I think
Okay.
the townships need it, I think if you don't have that, you can't have no services at all, the roads are so bad.
I'd like to ask you guys if we can put a deadline on the cities. The cities are, do we wanna make it next week, December 15th, December 20th? When do we wanna make them? Cause at some point, we have to ask them to give the money back. And
Right.
if they don't spend it, they have to give it back.
Right,
And they don't have this discretion to just go spend out whatever they want, or
right,
necessarily. It
Right.
has to be,
So if we would put the 20th on them, would we have time then to react after that?
we would have plenty of time.
You'd want to pay the 18th, see if they do it on a Friday. 20th falls on Sunday.
But now that you bring that,
gives you
now,
2 weeks.
now I
Yeah.
got something to say on this, because see, you're right, and that's what, I'm glad you brought up the cities. Because let me tell you what Linden's doing, and this is what upsets me. They got 7 businesses to give this money to, what they've been authorizing, 30,500. But now they're telling them till after the year, if they don't, so you better set the date before, after the year or what, because they're not gonna give the money to those businesses. And I think that if they can't meet the requirement of showing,
that's a different program, Gene.
why?
It's a completely different program. The cities, that's a different thing.
Now,
The-
I don't see it that way. I mean,
You're
there's
talking about the
present.
CDBG grant.
Yes, that's what he's talking about. That's that's a completely different thing.
To those businesses, and it's in the works, and we have a couple.
No, and it's got, but see, if they don't have the deals on them to show that they actually spent that money, they can withdraw of giving them all that money that they offered to give those businesses.
That's not
Is that right?
The CARES Act.
That's not the CARES, it's a completely different program, Gene.
I'm still,
I can talk to you a little bit about the CDBG
Yeah.
grant if you want, outside, if you want to come.
Okay,
you can laugh all you want.
I'm not.
But I tell you, the cities are, doing some things differently than what you guys are saying too.
Yes, 'cause
And I
that's a
think
CBG
those other
grant, it's a
businesses
completely
in this
different
town
program.
Count just as much as anybody else. Now, you can laugh all you want, Dyer.
So, I'm dealing with Leslie Rockers at the Ottawa Area Agency
Yes.
on Aging. I'll call her
Yes.
today and talk to her about, we're talking about a van over
Yeah,
there. right?
if,
And see where she is
That-
on
that's
budget, and if something, I'll have something for you guys in today.
so what are you thinking on this deadline? 20th, I think that's, 18th is a Friday. That would give us most of 2 weeks to deal with that, with Christmas taken out. Is that gonna work?
I think so. I mean,
Okay.
it's just so we know that we're prepared already then for that.
So on this, ECAN over there, if we say we'll give them $10,000 toward a van, that means some other county's going, and a van's gonna cost $30,000. What happens if no other county chips in? What's the 10,000, what do we do there?
If we partially pay for a van that they,
And then they don't get the rest of it to go buy one?
yeah, I think we ought to talk to her. I've been dealing with her on a food program, but Overbrook's giving us some money for their CDBG money.
Right.
So she's basically got
No,
some
just-
right now. And so I'll call her and see if that's.
See what you
a
can find
possibility.
out, and we can
Right.
make a decision
And
later.
if it's a possibility, I'm sure she'll get it together.
Okay,
Is this still the same place that brings the food over to our
yes,
senior center and we deliver from there?
yes,
So if we own the van there, it would be the same thing, only it would be in Osage County and not every other county that's not paying for any of it, they're not. Correct? If we had a van sitting in Osage City, because we're delivering the meals from Osage City when they get there, correct?
we,
They're dropping the meals off in Osage City and then we deliver them out of Osage City.
We don't deliver them.
no,
all.
no,
Yeah.
not
We're
now.
not delivering them.
We're not delivering them now.
Yeah.
So they're delivering them from Ottawa to here.
Right,
But we did that one time, and it was pretty expensive keeping those vans.
Well, I
And
thought
then-
that one time they
and
were-
then we had volunteers that was picking him up here and delivering him around town. Well, those volunteers have
I
quit.
would sure hate to see us spend our part of the CARES Act money for another county.
Well, right,
I understand we're doing a percentage, but make sure it's just a percentage and not paying.
Yes.
If it's vans 40,000, we shouldn't pay, in our total county, 35,000, somebody else kicks in 5,000.
I think they got about as many vans as they got counties, don't they?
yeah.
I think, so. Anyway, that's just an idea. Let's get some information on it, and see where it goes.
Okay.
But if we buy a van here, keep it in the county, we could distribute them around the county.
Absolutely. And then that fixes two.
And
problems.
then-
The senior center's wanting them.
And then the harvesters that we take to the north end of the county, we'd be able to do that with our own van. Right now, they're coming out of Shawnee County now, but first year, we're taking that over. So there'd be about 40 boxes once a month that we would have to pick up in Osage and haul to up north.
Do we wanna have the senior center get they probably already do have an idea what a van would cost. Do we wanna have that on, ready to go?
I'll talk with her about it too, so, yeah.
Yeah, just a couple things
You know.
left and we're gonna close this out. Anything else, guys? You think of?
Heather.
I just have a couple questions. When you're submitting the reconciliations according to these deadlines, what is it you're submitting to the state at each of those time periods?
I just submit the reconciliation report in a change memo that goes along with it.
And so then they look over it and they approve it, send it back, or they make changes, or?
A couple of, they've come back with comments, maybe a number here, a number there, for you, the last one, we had no comments.
So it just shows what we've done so far up to that date, or it shows what we're doing in the future?
It shows the future budget, what we budgeted, what we intend to do through a change order, and the total amount we spent to date, and the total amount we spent during the period. So there's a total spent this request, and a total spent to date.
So then, what you're sending to them is an actual up-to-date of how much is spent and how much is still remaining, according to their time period.
Well, the expenses show what we had reported. So some of, say for instance,
Is reporting the same as the checks physically being written?
no, they're not.
So what you're sending to the state isn't really what's in that time period actually occurring. It's what you're planning on doing during that time period?
There's two different, so the reconciliation reports didn't have a column for transfers, because there's two different things. There's the transfers the counties have made to all the entities, the municipalities. And then there's the money that the entities and municipalities and everything have already spent. So I'm getting expense reports every month from each entity and what they've spent. For instance, the fire department maybe have only spent half of their allocation. And so I show what we have on the fire department, what we've actually spent so far there. But it'll also show, it doesn't really show that the county has actually transferred the money. So it's kind of very, you understand what I'm saying?
Oh, well, I do, because when I got these from you, I was just struggling to figure out how much money was actually remaining. And so that's why I was wondering if what you're sending the state at each reconciliation period, is that reflected? I mean, is this document the same as what you send the state?
No, it is not. This document shows what we expect to have. This document shows the money that we expect to be having in our account or that we can spend right now. This is what I have actuals. It shows that we have reimbursed the county. It also shows the courts, the fairs, it shows that the school districts are gonna expend all their money.
So these are all projections.
They're basically projections, yeah.
Because on one of these, I have one that says first reconciliation.
I changed that to
And then the
original
other
budget.
two don't show that, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm preparing these as sort of weekly reports for the commissioners and you guys to take a look at to see kind of where we are with the money so that we can make plans on where the money's gonna be spent next week.
So, simplified, if we go, look, there's more than $38,000 in our account. It shows that number because that, when everything is spent the way according to it's supposed to be, that's how much money's gonna be left. But there's a lot more money than that in there now because all the checks haven't been written, is basically what you're saying.
Not all of the checks have been written. Yes, there is more money than that, than $38,161.
So when we talk about somebody giving money back, it's not necessary, they're not walking back in and handing a check to the county, the money's already here, they're just not gonna use it.
No. When we're talking about giving money back, the city, say for instance, if all of it can't spend their $3,500, they're gonna write a check back to the county.
So we've already given all of that check.
That's right.
Okay, but some of these have not received, have all these received a check then?
All of the cities have received a check, fire departments, all the school districts have received their money. That was the way that was intended by the recovery office. That was the guidance. Every county did it the same way. They made their transfers that way.
I have a question about the small businesses who receive money. Is there guidance for them on how they need to show that how the money was spent so that there's no surprises after it's been spent? Are they being required to do certain things, paying receipts, et cetera?
So, yeah, there's, originally we sent the money to the first round businesses. During the program, the recovery office sent what they called a memorandum of acceptance to the counties and said, this would be recommended but not required. And so the second round, businesses are gonna be encouraged to sign a memorandum of acceptance. And we're also sending those to the first round businesses for their signature as well.
And that'll come before, like, soon, before
Yes.
the money has to be spent? Thank you.
Yeah, those are going out this week.
Thank you.
Last question I have on this is on the audit, it shows we're paying for the audit. If the audit comes back and somebody did not do it right, who's responsible? How do we ever get that money back? Where's our safety guard in that for that?
So the audit is going to be involved in how the county made decisions, where they spent the money with the health department, basically where the expenses are documented. So each individual, the audit isn't gonna have a single audit for every entity. And so we have been tracking every expense, whether it is PPE, whether it's payroll for health department officials, whether it's this or that, and those are going in with the reconciliation reports at that time. And so the recovery office is giving thumbs up every time we come back with expenses that said, yes, if there was an expense on there that they looked at that said, I don't know, we bought a Ferris wheel, and they would say that's not an eligible expense at that
So
time.
let's just play devil's advocate here, if that was to happen, what happens? If they come back and say in this audit that they chose to spend money somewhere what it wasn't supposed to be spent, what's the recourse? And where does the recourse go?
Well, I don't think they've already approved the expenditures. they've given us letters saying that the expenditures the county has made and approved are
So
reasonable.
why do we need an audit?
Well, the recovery office recommended that we budget 10,000 for an audit, so that money could come back to us. And that any time a public entity spends over $750,000 of the Fed's money in an annual basis, then they are up for a single audit. We call that an A133 audit.
Right.
So it's likely that the county's auditor, which is, I forgot Scott's.
Swindle, Jansen, Huffman.
Yeah, but it's got the, they'll audit the project anyway because we've spent more than $750,000. And so what they'll do is they'll come in, and Rhonda can explain more what happens in the audit, but the records are together, we have, the checks are written and reconciled, things like that. It's not
So
so.
it's not like there's any chance that they're gonna say, you shouldn't have gave this money, we gotta have that money back.
No, that's not what this audit is about. We're talking a single audit to make sure the checks are written specifically, nobody's absconded with any money. That's basically what the audit is for, and that the programs have been created and administered properly, and that we've.
So making that statement, why in the world would these cities not keep the money and use it for what they wanted to?
The audit?
See, that's it.
Yeah, we're gonna get some more guidance on that.
Right.
Keep in mind that this,
Yeah, that's what I'm.
and so that well, as you, that money's still there, but we've shown it as projected, so.
That's just why I'm confused, is that whatever you're sending to the state, if it shows what's been spent and what hasn't, why wouldn't we get that on a monthly, even if you're doing this on a weekly basis? I would think that whatever you're sending the state once a month, that gives the actual, this is what's still remaining, why that isn't something we'd be getting. I mean, projections are projections, but until it's been written and done, I don't know, like, it shows the audit in the original, and then you have it in the actual, so there's no balance left, but the audit's not been done, so why wouldn't you put the 10,000 in the balance, as it's still available to be used for the audit? I don't understand these sheets to show where we're at in real time.
So the reconciliation reports are always available on the state's website for anybody in the public to download and see. And that they have actual accountings that say how much hand sanitizer the school district bought. And every $27 bill they have. So that is listed infinitum in that reconciliation report. I think we have, for instance, the external report for the county is some 500 lines long of hand sanitizer and PPE and things like that. So those are available. This is just for you guys to see where our projections are, where we should be budgeting, where we should be thinking about getting money.
And to me, the taxpayers are the ones that have these questions, is why, it's their money, it's not the federal government's first one, it's the taxpayer money. And they're giving it to the county, and they're trusting the county. So at the end of the day, they wanna know, if the county screws this up, do they have to bail them out because they messed it up? That was my question on the audit, is if they find that we misfunded the money, then does the county have to reimburse that money? Because it ain't gonna be them paying, it's gonna be everybody that pays taxes in this county. That's my question.
Well,
That was my question about the audit.
I think that'd be a question for legal counsel and auditors before, I wouldn't be able to answer a question that's never happened before in a scenario that's never come up. We've never had CARES Act money.
And that might be the answer to the question. I mean, if they're not gonna audit, as you say, it's just a general audit, then it really doesn't matter. Because basically, what you've stated is whatever the commissioners have made the choice to spend money on, they're allowed to spend on whatever they want. Their guidance, there is really no guidance, other than, here's what we've said, and the states allow that.
Yeah, I want to phrase that the guidance is the county commissioners make the decision, and that the county commissioners and their legal counsel refer to their resolution as to eligible items.
Right.
Any other questions?
I have none.
Okay.
See you next Monday. Where are they located?
So we need to send out a note to everybody and say that December the 18th is your cutoff day to let us know where you're at.
Well, I've been talking, I've talked to the city clerks
Right,
basically 2-3 times a week to see where we're going. So
Right.
I'll let them know.
right, okay,
And I'll be in Scranton tonight, so we'll talk about that there. We're gonna discuss this money here tonight in Scranton, so.
okay,
Thank you very much.
okay,
See you
thank you
next
for
week.
coming.
Is the ambulance, is that here?
EMS?
Yeah, it's here.
Well, I'm here. 1,500 work.
Okay.
I need a break.
Yeah, we'll take a short break
And then
here while
Jackie
we're waiting.
has her purchase order ready, and I don't know, let me make sure I didn't write down the wrong.
Get this, come on, get up far.
Pull pretty hard on it.
There it
you
is.
go.
Oh my gosh, oh, speak. Speak, oh, wag your tail, yes.
She's gonna say, give me a treat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Leave me out of it.
Oh, yeah. You found them all, didn't you? Yeah. We don't have to do anything with this railroad tower. All of that has their own jurisdiction, so it's inside the city, so
Okay.
I don't know if you keep file of them
Okay,
or
yeah, I'll put it.
whatever you do with it, but, which is a good deal. Becky liked it too,
Good.
but she don't have to do anything, so.
Okay, Jackie had a purchase order about the car.
Yes.
Information about the car.
Okay.
Okay, they're not coming today. I had them down for 2 days and I didn't mark them off the correct one.
Actually got a hold of Ed Bozarth really quick, and, he sent me an email, says they don't have one right now. He said with factories being shut down for 2 to 3 months, vehicles are scarce. I mean, new ones. He said
Okay,
they
right.
could, get a used one, but they don't have a new one that fits this bill. So,
So he didn't quote a price.
no.
Okay, well, we made the offer.
Okay,
So I move we approve the Ed Bozart bill for,
the Brainerd,
or nine.
yeah.
Darn. Whatever.
Yes, those are billed for
I
zero.
know. Purchase order 3537, as written. To Bernine Motors, in amount of $34,647 out of the CARES Act.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thanks for doing that, Jackie.
No problem.
Get your camper.
Yeah, that's what we've been living.
You got
It's nice.
Christmas lights on it, yeah?
No, we have one of those little Christmas, those little ceramic Christmas trees.
Very good.
Room in there.
Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
yeah.
Thank you. Do you have anything else? Do you have anything, Pat?
Well, just a quick update on the tax foreclosure. I told you I was gonna file last week. We had an issue with some interest that was miscalculated and needed to be redone, so I'm gonna file it this week.
Okay,
Have nothing else.
okay. I move that we adjourn.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.